Good morning. All right. Good morning, everyone. Oh, man, I'll have to fix that. Let's see here. Boom. The Wednesdays always get me mixed up because it's the long days, but I got that on an auto generator, so it generates the new day every day. That's why I try not to pre record because then I have to mess everything up. Anyway, good morning. Hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. I cranked up the volume this time, so hopefully I'm not too quiet. I know it's early in the morning. Let me just give it a little tap up. Don't want you hearing everything or getting too much buzz. Um, let's see here. Got a fun day planned today. We got the Daily Dozen, of course, quarterly recap. Want to go over the goals for the show. No, I briefed over it last weekend. Team updates. Um, gonna do a quick overview about Wake Up Barstool, and then we'll close it out. Gonna be a good morning. Let's see. I know the static might be a little high, but it's gonna be good. Let me go to the. I didn't pull it up beforehand, so now I know on the bottom it's got last week's scores. I tried to fix it. I tried to update it, but then it broke, so I had to use the old saved one just so I can have something down there. Um, you know, this is gonna be episode 8. I forgot to introduce myself. I need to start doing that. Good morning, everyone. My name is Zach McMurray, and I'm your host. Welcome to the Sunrise Sports Show. This show is a kind of a daily recap of the things that happened the night before. So typically, since it's today's Wednesday, we'll talk about what happened Monday night and Tuesday night. And on Fridays, we'll talk about what happened Wednesday and Thursday night. And Mondays, we'll talk about what happened over the weekend. That can be anything. It can be sports, obviously, but if there's some fun media stuff like I've got listed on there later today, we're going to talk about that too. Whatever brings the most fun is what I'm going to talk about. And whatever I think is most fun is, well, typically anything. But let's go into the Daily Dozen. This is technically episode 8, but really it's going to be the new season. I've released 7 episodes before, but I think all those in my mind are just preseason. Now that ball is officially started, then we can go ahead and start talking about ball once it gets up and rolling. And yeah, I think it's going to be episode 8, but it's really season 1, episode 1, the premiere. But typically we'll play this Daily Dozen game, as y'all know. But for those that are new, it's 9 questions. Pretty intense trivia, actually. I'm not that good at it. As you'll see, I'm pretty much an average ball knower. But that's why I'm using the show to grow my knowledge and to just reach out to those who are also average and just want to have a little fun in the mornings. It's 7 a.m., 7:06 now. The show was made so you can be eating breakfast and watching a little something on your phone or be listening on your drive to work for those that have to drive early. Let's get into it. Tyrod Taylor has been the Week 1 starting QB for the Bills, Browns, Texans, and this AFC team. Let's see, Tyrod Taylor. As you can tell, I don't know much about sports history. Let's go with the Colts. Since getting drafted 10th overall in 2018, this current Knicks player has never missed a game during his NBA career. I think that is Malik Beasley. Or is it Shoot. I think it's with an E. No. Shoot. I know what he's talking about. He used to play for the Nets. Because this was part of the... Shoot, I don't know his last name. It was part of the Nova Knicks. Shoot, I'm gonna get a what did I? Newman? No, no. I was supposed to use my double dip for later on, but now I don't even know. Oh my gosh. The fourth longest that was such a waste. Sorry, guys. The fourth longest active playoff drought in the MLB belongs to this franchise, whose most recent postseason appearance consisted of them winning the World Series. Fourth longest. I know the White Sox haven't been in a while. Dang. What is the most populated country that is part of the political union known as the European Union? European Union. My dad would know this one. What is the most populated country that is part of the political union known as the European Union? Switzerland? Dang, I'm over 4. I'm doing this every day until I get 9 is the thing, folks. Oh, gosh. The 2 celebrities mashed up in this photo. I know the outside is John Bernthal. I don't know who that middle person is, though. I don't know who that middle person is. Like, at all. I've been bad with the middle people recently. But it's because the outsides are so obvious. Once I can get to know the face, then I can typically get the outside. But, well, actually, last time I messed up on the outside. Man, who is that face? I don't know. I'm just staring at eyes and I know nothing. So, man. Go ahead and, berate me in the comments for not knowing this. But I have no idea. I don't know. Why are teeth so white? I don't know. Could be the mom from, no. I don't know. But also, why does it fit? Why do they line up the eye wrinkles and eyebrows? I just need a lady. Dang. Hey. I'll turn this down. You okay? Okay. I don't know. We'll just go with helps build strong bodies 8 ways. Helps build strong bodies 12 ways are the slogans appreciated with this brand of slice of bread. Henry's? Man, who makes half loaves? Man, I'm going to do 0 for 9 today. What a great way to start the season. All I know is Bunny. Sure. These wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just too real. I'm going 0 for 9 today. Sam Jones plays a football star and defender of Earth in this cult classic 1980 space opera. I don't know. Dude, I'm going to go 0 for 9 on my first Oh my goodness. I couldn't tell you the last time I went 0 for 9 on these. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is Keenan Thompson. Man, I'm going to go 0 for 9. I don't know. I've just got to guess random things to get it over with so I can get my double guess. Oh, I'm so bad. I went 0 for 9. The Chargers. Mikal Bridges. That's why I needed to use my. Oh my goodness. That's why I needed to use my double dip because I wasted that first one. I knew it wasn't Malik. Oh my goodness. Mikal Bridges. Oh my goodness. I got all the letters right in the first name and the last name first letter correct, but that is awful. Nationals. Wonder Bread. That was gonna be my second guess. I should use my double dip there. Those are the only two bread names I know. Bunny Bread or Wonder Bread. Blue Bunny, I don't even know what that is. Elizabeth Banks. I almost guessed Elizabeth Banks for the SNL one. Germany. Dang it. Fred Arm. I should know. Flash Gordon. Oh, yeah, Flash Gordon. Dang it. I should have known that. My Immortal. This was awful. I'm sorry about how bad that was. But, you know, next week we'll do, or Friday we'll do better. Quarterlay. As you know, Friday, I pre recorded an episode, and the quarterlay is let's see here. I, on one side, have a coin, flip a coin. On the other side, I'll have every lineup going into that weekend of the NFL team. And I went through it, and, you know, heads is home, tails is away. The problem is, when I looked back this morning to check how we did, I accidentally set it for this season or this weekend. So we've already got one set for tomorrow, and that's my bad. I guess I just wasn't paying attention when I made that. So we've got one set for this weekend and didn't have one last weekend. I guess that saves us 25 cents. But if I'm looking at it now, right now we can cash out for 12 cents. I say let it ride. It's still 25 cents to pay out 2,618. So we can let that ride. And I think there's a game for Friday night. There's one tomorrow we could place a little bet on, but I don't know. My computer's having little problems with it. But we can do the Chargers and Chiefs game. Sorry, she was asking if I wanted breakfast. We'll do the Chargers and Chiefs game Friday morning, so we have a little something to work with. But yeah, that's the update for the quarterlay. I messed up and I only did it for, I thought I did it for the last week of preseason. Turns out I did it for week 1 regular season. And so we'll see how that goes. Maybe destiny will be kind to us that way. Next, I want to get a little into, I don't have a snooze segment. Snooze is what I call the news for those that are new. Because news and snooze, I just tack an S on to the beginning, and it's a whole like early morning show. So I thought snooze would be pretty good. Yeah, sorry my gain is so high. You can hear everything going on in the kitchen. But, like I said, episode 1, we're still working out the kinks. And I need the gain to be high because I speak a little soft. Eventually, I'll get used to it and I'll speak up. But today, speaking a little quieter. Anyway, let's hit next, go into the goals. Like I said, usually we'll have a snooze segment, and I would like to start having a PowerPoint. So that's what I got going on. Goals for the show. Sell merch. These will be my top 5 goals for the show. And it won't be like anything soon. This will be over the span of like the next 10 years. The 10-year plan for the show, I guess I could have named it. I want to sell merch. I think that'd be fun. Obviously, I have no income for the show except my sponsors, which I didn't set a tab for, but we will do. And I want to get real sponsors. Speaking of, I think it'd be fun if I got a real sponsor for the show, whether that be each segment or like one segment is dedicated to a sponsor, or the show, if it's the Sunrise Sports Show, produced by so-and-so, if that makes sense, or presented by so-and-so. I would love to get, a fan base and loyalty enough to get to where I'm at that level. Even if it's just someone small, that would mean a lot to me. So if you know anybody, feel free to reach out. DM me on Instagram or email me you can follow me on Instagram at Sunrise Sports Show, and my email is thesunrisesportsshow@gmail.com. Pretty simple. I want to have 5 famous guests. Eventually, I want to start doing interviews, and I'll call that the Morning Huddle. But for now, I just have myself, because this is episode 1. Don't have any guests lined up, but in the future, we're going to have some guests. And of those guests, I want to have 5 famous interviews for my guests. Or if it's not the same 5, it could be my top 4. What'd I say? My Mount Rushmore. Go back to episode 1, and you'll see what my Mount Rushmore was. I can just go ahead and recap it, actually. That was in no specific order. That's why I do the Mount Rushmores, because they're just my top 4 of something. Haven't done one in a while, but we'll get back to doing those. Top 4 people that I wanted to meet in life are going to be Baker Mayfield is my favorite NFL player, Shaquille O'Neal, Adam Sandler, and Post Malone. So if I could get any of those 4 as a guest interview, I would complete the show. If I could get all 4 of those, any of those 4, I'd be ecstatic. But anyway, next I want to have this show take me to the Super Bowl. I know that's extreme, but that's what this goal is about. Also, sorry if the gray on the gray on the rainbow and the yellow, if it looks hideous, let me know and I'll update it. I'll get something a little more pleasing to the eye going on. But I kind of just made this last night, and I just was like, I need something that's contrasting, but it's a little too contrasting and a little ugly. Anyway, I want to have this show take me to the Super Bowl, whether that be the money I've raised from this show, the sponsors that I've had from this show, or a fan wants to take me, or a guest that I've interviewed ends up being like, hey, you should come with me. Or even some network is like, hey, we want you to come. Anything, but I want the root of this show to be what takes me to the Super Bowl. That would be awesome. Obviously, that's why I said 10 years. I only have 6 subscribers right now, so I don't think they're going to be able to take me. One of them is myself, and I don't have any money. Next, I want to have 100 loyal subs. I wrote down at first silver play button. I might change it, but that's why I put it in brackets. Silver in the far future. I was mistaken. I just think it would be awesome to have a silver play button as decoration behind me. I know that's like tacky, but I just think it's so cool when YouTubers have that as their background. And I thought that was just 1,000 subscribers. And then I looked it up yesterday, and it's 100,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people, that are watching you every day. A lot of loyal fans, which I guess you deserve it. And I think it'd be cool if just eventually I could just have if I could have 100 loyal subs. If I averaged 100 views every episode, that would mean the world to me. Um, I don't really plan on, if it gets bigger, it gets bigger, but I don't plan on like wanting it to get that huge. But if it does, I'll definitely put in the effort. But I think 100 loyal subs is awesome. I think it's a big number to reach. It's going to take a lot of work, and I think it's going to be really good. Let's see. Next, we have, those are the goals. Oops, I skipped one. Those are the goals for the show. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know they're huge. That's why I ranked them from 1 to 5 is, range of easiest to hardest, in quotes. Might be a little out of order. I do want to go to the Super Bowl at one point. Or like NBA Finals or something. Wimbledon, anything like that would be awesome. But I know you might be harder than 100 loyal subs. But that's why I had originally 100,000 subs. But I think if I just had 100 loyal subs, that would mean the world to me. Next, we're going to do teams, my team recap. Like I said, I want to start having the news segment be a PowerPoint, and I can just pop up a picture and just talk about what happened this weekend. I don't have any graphics this morning. I'm just a one-man team. So this is it's a next step from what we were preseason, and I think it's already better than what it was. But this way I can give my points along like a real show and let you know like what's been going on. And I guess eventually I can fix up the camera too. But for now, I'm liking it. Team recap. Our NFL team, if you want to go back and watch from what I'm going to start calling the preseason, episodes 1 through 7, I determined what teams we as a show are going to follow. And what I did was I span a wheel. I put all 32 NFL teams in a wheel, and I spin it. And it goes down one by one until it gets to the final 2. Then we do a 1v1. Whoever gets the best 3 out of 5 becomes the NFL team or WNBA and all the other teams we've done. That becomes the team that we cheer for the season. And so we were blessed enough to score the San Francisco 49ers. So just as a team update, they beat the Chargers in preseason 30-23. And this Sunday, they'll play the Seahawks for their game opener. I believe it's away. I didn't write that down. I'm sorry. I believe it's in Seattle. I could be wrong. Let me just do a quick. It is in Seattle. So I was right. 3:05 p.m. East Central. But yeah, they beat the Chargers. They're looking pretty solid. They've won. They beat the Raiders 22-19, and they beat the Chargers 30-23. So pretty close games, 1 point games or 1 score games. Well, you'd have to extra point, but still. And they lost to the Broncos first week of preseason, 30-9. I just said they're looking good just because it's preseason. It's hard to tell. But I'm excited for them to get some real reps in and to, hopefully take us to the Super Bowl. How crazy would it be if the team that we pick wins the Super Bowl first season? I do it like that because I think it's a lot more interesting for us as a team to grow a fan base and just kind of evolve each season. Next season, we'll spin again and have a new team. So it could be a great team. It could be a bad team. But I think it's a lot more fun than just having you guys watch me root on for the Titans. Just because, if you're watching, it might grow enough to where you're not from Tennessee. So, or even if you are, most of you are going to be. But I just think it's a lot more fun if we all just cheer for a new team every season. More so because the Titans are bad. But maybe they'll be good next year. Anyway, next we have the Washington Mystics. They faced double defeat this past weekend. They lost to the Valkyries of Golden State, 99-62. A bit of a blowout. I think that's 36 points. That's a pretty big difference. And then they lost to the Sparks from LA. I believe LA Sparks. 81-78. So 3-point game. I didn't watch it all just because I was on vacation, like most of you. But tomorrow night they play the Phoenix Mercury. Bedhead. They play the Phoenix Mercury tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. So I'll give you an update Friday morning on how they're doing. Next we have the Detroit Tigers, our MLB team. They beat the Royals 2-1 in the series. Right now they're currently losing to the New York Mets. They beat the Royals 2-1. Right now they're losing to the Mets by 2. And they play today at 12. So if you want to, tune into that game if you have time on your lunch break. I don't have time on my lunch break, but I'm going to check back in with the scores, give you updates on like who played well. Let's see. I'm just seeing if you can hear the blender. If you can, I'm sorry. She's blending up breakfast for me. Or no, she's blending herself coffee. Next, we have Delaware. That's our college. Fun fact about Delaware, this is their first season in the FBS. So what are the odds that we got the babies? But I'm a baby of a show, so I think it's kind of fitting. I think the baby of a show getting the baby of the FBS, I'm here for it. The Blue Hens, Delaware Blue Hens. My dad informed me that Joe Flacco played for the Delaware. That's just something that dads know. I think the knowledge that dads have in sports are what I strive to have. Like, I say I'm cheering for Delaware. He's like, oh, Joe Flacco played for that. Look it up on ESPN. Sure enough, Delaware. Anyway, they played Del State. They won 35-17. Looked pretty good. They are in the CUSA, meaning they'll play my home team, MTSU, a lot of other teams I couldn't remember at the moment, but I wanted to see if I could go to that game, but it's actually in Delaware. If it was a home game, I would have made a video out of it, but we'll still update it. Unfortunately, next weekend, this Saturday, they'll play Colorado. Now, people are saying what they want to say about Colorado now that they've lost Shador and Travis, but I don't know how it's going to be. I'm excited to play a big team like that as a new team. It would mean a lot to Colorado if they lost. If Colorado loses to Delaware has got to work its way up. I picked them because they have a chance to actually play for the national championship. That's why I had all 136 teams. If you want to watch that marble race, that's episode 6, I believe. Or no, episode 7, I'm sorry, that released on Friday. That's why I didn't have that graphic of who Delaware beat. They beat them on Thursday, the same day we already released the graphic. I had already recorded Wednesday night, But yeah, those are the teams' updates. Soon, in the future, we'll take away Mystics and we'll add NBA, but next, we're going to get into something I'm interested in is Wake Up Barstool. I mentioned this on last episode. This isn't really important to y'all, but it's just something fun for me. As y'all know, I am a college guy. I just graduated college, 24 years old, or about to turn 24 next week. Consume a lot of Barstool content. I think they're fun. Not for everybody, but what they've done is they recently paired up with Fox, so they're on FS1 right now, actually. They've got their own Wake Up Barstool on live TV on the Fox network, FS1. And I mentioned this as a joke for Friday's episode, but they copied my idea. What can I say? They know it was a good idea. What they do is they've actually got a live show which is a lot more. It's obviously a lot more impressive than this. Right now, this is just me on the YouTube, but it still looks pretty professional, and it's still gonna grow. What they have is an actual like production company because they're a huge company. But I actually enjoyed it. Yesterday was episode 1. I watched the reruns of it on YouTube, and they go from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., which is smart. That's why I picked this time as well, because no one really has a morning sports show. So I guess it's going to be we're going to talk about kind of the same things. I'm not saying that as like a competition thing, because obviously they'll stomp me out, but as an interest thing, I think it's a pretty fun idea that they're doing that. The main thing I took away from yesterday is they have Jason Williams, white chocolate, on the team. I think that's awesome. They brought him on for the Barstool for that show, and I think he was he chimed in like randomly. Obviously, didn't have as much to say as Brandon Walker because he's Brandon Walker, but the biggest takeaway from the show is Dave Portnoy said that he could be a better play caller than 99% of the coaches in NFL. That's a loose term. I'm obviously not a direct quote. If he wants to, he should buy the Titans. Right now, they're not doing so well, but that's obviously just a funny statement to say. But I think he could buy the Titans. He said he's nowhere near wanting to buy a team right now, but if he bought the Titans, I'll go in with you. As in, I have no money, but anything, I can give you like $1,000 to go in on the Titans with you. Might have to consult my wife first, but I think, if I put up the first 1,000, maybe you could put up the other 4 billion. So yeah, and I think that'd be fun. I think he could run it well. He's mentioned before wanting to buy a WNBA team, and I think he could do that well. But again, that's not something super newsworthy, but I just think that's just something funny that I thought of, that he mentioned, and I want to see that in action. He wanted to, just because that's like, no one's done that before, and it would shake up the news. So I might as well do it with a team that I think needs improvement, is my home team. I don't think he would have traded A.J. Brown. But anyway, that's the only statement that I really have on the Titans, is that they traded A.J. Brown when they shouldn't have. Everybody knows that. Anyway, that was a pretty good episode. We ran a solid 30 minutes. And I think that's what the show is going to look like from here on out. I'm a little over right now, working on 35 minutes, but that's what the show is going to be like. I hope you stick around. Another episode's coming Friday. 30 minutes of just fun and entertainment coming to you Fridays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to roughly 7:30. Today's was full episode, how I want it to be. Last couple episodes have been kind of dragging on. I'll try and update the scores next week. Oh, I need to talk about sponsors. Here are the 3 sponsors. We have John Will, Eli Morgan, and Luke Andre. If you want to be a sponsor, they go month to month. Right now, we're going to keep this one going for the next month, just because that was kind of preseason. If you want to get on the bottom, where's my hand at? Right here. If you want to have your name on the bottom, Venmo me $1. That's my Venmo on the left, or stage right, I guess. Stage left or your right. Yeah, Venmo me $1. You get on the bottom. The top 3 donors get their face up with me. And technically, that's going to restart month to month, but this month we're going to let it extend, just because it was short notice, and I just think those pictures are awesome. But yeah, if you want to sponsor, Venmo me $1 at least to get your name up on the bottom. If you want to do more, I'd be happy to take it. Top 3 donors get their name or get their face up with me. That's all we have planned for today. I know I went a little bit over. Thank you for sticking with me, and if you're watching this on a rerun, thank you for going back and watching this. But yeah, this is going to be a good show. Love y'all. This is the Sunrise Sports Show. I'm your host, Zach McMurray. Y'all just have a great Wednesday morning, and let's go win the day.